Hello again. This is Walking with Paul, with me, Paul. Um, Today I just wanted to talk about careers because I think that's something where people can get very lost in. I was lost in it for years. Just to give you a quick background of me, it's got a very long story short, did the usual route, went to school, GCSEs, A levels. They were good enough to get into university. I went to university. When I went there, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I'd got good enough results to do a marketing degree, which I thought would put me into lots of different careers, wouldn't pigeonhole me too much. Did that, still felt lost, fell into jobs, kind of, admin jobs, recruitment jobs. And you just kind of, before you know it, I felt like I was just plodding along. And I think a lot of people feel like that. Speaking to people, they do. A lot of people will just feel like they just plod along, earn a salary, try to make ends meet, do their best at what they do, but is it really what they want to do? And then a lot of people, like I'd include myself in this, can get envious of those people that just seem to do or end up in stuff that they're really passionate about and enjoy, whether it's a hobby that they turn into a career or um, whether it is something that's fulfilling. Um, and sometimes we can get envious of people that just earn a lot of money, whatever they do. Mine tended to be, and I noticed this over time, I thought it would be salary, but it wasn't. Mine was, I was very envious of anyone that did something worthwhile, like felt like they're making an impact on the world, felt like they were doing something to help people. And I always wanted that, but I just didn't know how to obtain it. So I then started to look into different careers, and I thought of teaching. That was in my own mind. I thought, well, yeah, you're making a difference to children's lives. You can really impact them. I'd seen loads of adverts on the TV for um, teacher recruitment and stuff like that. And my mum was a teacher as well. So I had a sort of, not a deep knowledge of it, but I thought, well, that'd be something rewarding. So anyway, I looked into it and everything, but a bit half-heartedly, and thought, yeah, that's probably the thing for me. Anyway, I mentioned it to a few people at church and they said, well, you need to pray about it. You need to pray about it and fast about it and just seek God in what direction he wants you to go in. So, to cut a very long story short, in prayer, a lot of the time I was getting these images of hospitals and nursing in general. And that's something I'd never considered before. I'd never thought about it as a career, never entered my head. So anyway, I didn't think anything of it at first, but it kept happening. The more I sort of prayed into it and in my quiet space in the mornings with God, it was coming into my mind more and more and more. So eventually, I mentioned it to my wife and she said, okay, well, why don't you mention it to someone at church, like someone that you trust and respect their opinion. So I mentioned it to my pastor and he said, well, whilst you've not had an actual audible voice from God, that is like a guidance and he's showing you, you've prayed for something specific, i.e. A career of substance, and he's showing you what that should be for you, where your skill set is. So if it were me, I would pursue it. Anyway, again, to cut a long story short, I looked into it. I contacted a few universities and they said, well, you do have a degree, but it's not relevant to like a healthcare profession. So you would need to do like an access course before you can study for a degree at college. So anyway, I was working full time. This course was 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. on a Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday for a year. Now I worked 9 to 5 in my previous employment. So I contacted the college and said, well, I won't be able to get there for 5 o'clock because I don't finish till 5, but can I start? I can probably get there for about 20 past 5 each time. and they said, you're going to miss a lot of the course. It's probably not going to work. You might have to find somewhere else to do the course. So I was a bit disappointed in it, but I prayed into it. And anyway, I got a phone call a few weeks later from the principal of the college, and they said, I believe you've been wanting to do this course. You can't get here for 5 o'clock. So as long as you can get here for 5:30, everything is, yes, we accept you onto the course. So God opens doors when it's the right thing. Anyway, to cut another long story short, I did that course, got into university, studied, and I became a paediatric nurse, which I love, and has its very hard times, but is extremely rewarding. Exactly what I prayed for and fasted for, I got. And in the past, I've heard people say that, like, when you want, or you feel like you need something to change in your life, and you pray and fast for it. If you pray and fast and put the things, put the effort in, God will open the doors for the right thing. Now, going back to it, I had teaching in my mind, and I was originally thinking, well, if I pray and fast, he'll get me onto a university course to be a teacher. But he had other ideas. He opened the doors for what was right for me. And that's where you have to submit to God. I can't say that I would definitely have submitted to God without seeking counsel from, at first, my wife and my pastor in church and other church members of the congregation, because it's that overcoming that unbelief. Like, everything was there for me to believe in, but I still had this doubt, like, oh, what if it's just my imagination, or what if it's, making excuses, basically. So always seek wise counsel. But if you're feeling a little bit lost, or like you're just plodding along each day, which I think many people do. I speak to people, regularly, who just sort of kind of go, I wish I could do something else. I wish I could do, people say to me sometimes when I meet parents at my hospital, and they ask me, because obviously I look a little bit older, I'm not 21, just qualified. People ask me about how I got here, and when I tell them that a very brief version of the story, they go, oh, wow, that's amazing. I wish I could do that. And I think you can do that. There's always a way. If there's something that you want to do enough, you can find a way of doing it. Sorry, someone's coming towards me. You can find a way of doing it. And if you seek God, and you seek wise counsel, and you pray and you fast earnestly, you can get to do what you want to do. You can do a job which will give you meaning and purpose. Yeah, bit of a rambly video. I am a bit of a rambler because I find it difficult when I don't have scripts to articulate myself properly. But anyway, I'm learning on the job here with this YouTube, so hopefully that can give you a little bit of inspiration. My story can give you that bit of inspiration. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this talk, and there'll be many more videos coming on the channel, and I will speak to you soon. Bye bye.